Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be doing the Valentine's Day book tag. So all of these questions are related to Valentine's Day and they're questions about love and books. They correlate together. So I'm looking forward to doing this tag. I haven't done a tag in a long time, but I feel like this is very fitting because today is actually Valentine's Day, so it just makes sense. But anyways, I'm excited to dive into this tag, share with you guys which books I love for different reasons, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. The first one is a standalone book that you love, and there were lots of options to choose from, but I ended up going with Recursion by Blake Crouch. Even just like his books on their own were hard to choose from because they're also all standalone. And yeah, so I ended up choosing this one because this one deals with memory, and I really enjoyed how they went about it. It was very action packed. Like, as soon as you start reading this book, it's nonstop thrill ride. So definitely one that will grab your attention and keep it from start to finish. It's following a police officer who is working with another person who is like I think they're a neurologist, and he's working with them to solve this case of what's called false memory syndrome. So people will have these false memories and then claim that they were real and they actually happened to them and feel like they actually happened to them. And so this detective and the neurologist team up to try and figure out what's going on with these victims, I guess, in these cases. And yeah, it's quite an intense book. So definitely check this out if you get a chance. Then we have a dystopian book that you love. And so most people would choose The Hunger Games, but I chose Battle Royale because I feel like this one is much more intense and way more brutal and gruesome and just, oof, this one is very, very intense. So this is essentially kind of the same thing as The Hunger Games. This is a class of Japanese students get taken to an island, and they're essentially told, like, look, you got to fight to the death, and that's it. They have no choice in the matter. They're just sent there and have to try and survive. And so it's following all these different characters as they're on this island trying to survive. It's also very interesting because, like, when they're let out onto the island, they are let out individually and they each get like a random weapon. So you never know like what you're going to end up with when you have to like combat for your life. So yeah, this one, there are a lot of names in it. So be like knowledgeable that going into the book that you're gonna have to keep track of a lot of different names. But other than that, this was such an intense thrill ride. I was like rooting for a lot of different characters. Only one survives, so like that's the whole point of it, is the one person that survives, they get like money and recognition, and then that's that. So yeah, it's very similar to like the Hunger Games in that sense, but yeah, it was hard rooting for a bunch of people knowing that only one's coming out of it. So yeah, but also it will keep your attention. Like, you will fly through this book. This is an over 600 page book. I did not feel like it was that. It felt like it went so quickly. So yeah, this one is pretty intense. Next up, we have a book that you love that no one else talks about. And so this, I'm sure other people have talked about this book, but I personally haven't seen them talking about this book. And that is The Haunting of Leigh Harker. I This was the first book I read by Darcy Coates, and I was just pulled in immediately and fell for her writing style. There were like little twists and turns in this book that I was not expecting whatsoever. So when they happened, it was just like a pleasant surprise. There was an endearing friendship in this book, and yeah, definitely a very intense, chilling ending. So I liked that. But yeah, I don't see many people talking about this book. I have seen a couple people talk about Darcy Coates, the author, but not this book specifically. So yeah, I wanted to share that, and I definitely need to read more by this author. Like, I've been wanting to, and I check for their books when I go to the local bookstore. So if one of them's there, I'm gonna get it. Next up, we have favorite book couple, and so for this one, I'm choosing Alana and Marco from Saga because these two will stop at nothing to protect their family. They started a little family together, as you can see on the cover here. They have a little baby, and they are essentially like fugitives on the run to protect their family because the two of them are technically not allowed to have a family together. Their two races are like at war with each other, and so it's illegal for them to be together. And so they are on the run, and it's a sci-fi graphic novel set in space, and They go all over the place, and I just love these two together. They fight for their love, and it's so friggin' awesome. So, yeah. Then we have a book that other people love that you haven't read yet. So I have The House on the Cerulean Sea. This book has been on my shelf for a while, and I know that other people adore this book, so I do know that I need to get to it. It's facing outward on my shelf, which makes me see it more, so hopefully that will intrigue me to pick it up. And yeah, I have enjoyed TJ Klune's other books that I've read, which I think currently the only one is Under the Whispering Door. It was pretty decent, so everybody tells me this one's better than that one, and I'm looking forward to finding out if they are correct. Then next up we have a book with red on the cover, and how could I not choose this one? It has a red wing and the literal word red on it, so I had to. You guys, it's my favorite book, I had to. Then we have to choose a book with pink on the cover, and so I chose Black Flamingo because this one has a bunch of different colors of pinks on it and literal flamingos on it. And I was like, okay, I have to. It's the pink bird. It needs to be shown. So here it is. The next one's a funny one. It's called You Were Given a Box of Chocolates and Which Fictional Character Gave Them to You? And I think I actually have one in my hands right now, but I just changed my mind because there's one that would more likely give them to me. 1 second. Okay, I got it. That would be Eric Biddle from Check Please, because Eric, aka Biddy, is a baker and he loves sharing his baked goods with his whole hockey team and everybody else that will try them. So I feel like he would make some like homemade chocolates and bring them over to share with me. He's a very like heartwarming, welcoming person who just likes to spread love through treats. And so I think that he would definitely send some over to me. Then we have It's Valentine's Day, so what book do you read? Well, I chose The Valentines Do-Over, literally a Valentine's Day book. This is following two different radio hosts who are talking about their different relationship conundrums, and they come together to put on this singles show for all the singles on Valentine's Day. But then they start getting feelings for each other, and so now they have to kind of hide those feelings because they don't want their single show to be a complete sham. But yeah, so it's essentially a Hallmark rom-com like that, centered around Valentine's Day. So yeah, I would choose to read this because it's very on theme. And then the last one is You're in the bookstore and you're stuck with an arrow by Cupid. What new release are you going to read and love? And so I chose The Stolen Heir because I feel like this one's just going to grab my heart and keep it. It's getting back into Elfhame, and it's a place that I read through with the Cruel Prince trilogy and really enjoyed, so I would love to jump back into that world and see those familiar characters and see what new characters they have in store for me. And that's it for the book tag. I don't actually know who the original creator is. I just kind of did a Google search for Valentine's Day book tags, and this one popped up. But the person that I'm looking off of, it's not the original creator. But anyways, I will put the questions in the description down below if you guys want to try it out. And yeah, definitely let me know. Also, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite lovey-dovey books are, because it's Valentine's Day and we got to celebrate the love. So yeah, let's share our book recommendations. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Coffee page, which will put in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.